60 seconds. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Day 1. All of us made it into the shelter just a second before the blast. That was a close one. As long as we're all together, we can make it work down here. We remember hearing canned soup was healthy for you. Our shelves are full of cans. We'll eat from cans, we'll sleep on cans, we'll even talk to cans. Some of us already do. Plenty of water means we don't have to worry about that for some time. This has been the best stocked shelter we've ever seen. We've never seen another one, but we're sure it's a good amount of supplies. Time to ration supplies. No, we're not feeding you until we arrive. Confined spaces are not a very friendly environment. We quickly got into an argument over some trivial things. If this keeps on, we might find ourselves in a nasty place. We're done fighting. How long? Mary Jane is feeling safe. Who wouldn't? We're done fighting, but for how long? Mary Jane is feeling safe. Who wouldn't in this coffin-sized shelter? Despite the dire circumstances and all of the trouble we're going through, Timmy is very brave. If there was anything to report about Dolores, this where it would have been written. Ted, there's nothing wrong with Ted. Nothing new anyway. Our neighborhood is still highly radioactive. Trips to the surface are a big risk to our house right now. Oh, we need some more supplies. It's not easy being calm in these circumstances. Hopefully we'll find out. We'll keep our peace, or else we might need to act like wolves. Survival of the fittest and all. At least we have a gun. Ooh, Ted's growing the stubble. Mary Jane looks very bored. It's easy to feel a bit down when living underground. Like this. No sunshine, no sky. We need to get rid of that and try to bring some cheerfulness into our lives. Can we spare some water? Mary Jane has been asking about it all day. We can't leave Timmy without water for too long. Water is all Dolores wants. Ted should drink some. Right. This is good. This is a good day to go outside, stretch a bit, get some fresh toxic air, maybe scavenge a thing or two. We sure could use some extra supplies. That's if we want to survive. I don't know. Maybe we should give him. What the hell is that? What is that? I'm gonna give him. Where's that suitcase? Suit. Oh, what? I'm so confused. What was that? Mary Jane seems fine today. Hopefully it will stay that way. Timmy might not look like it, but he is a strong young boy. He's doing just fine. Today was relatively calm for Dolores. Ted left for the surface. We hope you'll be back soon. Equipment. No. You get Ted. That radio of ours has been silent for the past few hours. We need our news. We need our music. We agree on that. And if it's refusing to cooperate, we need to meddle with it until it works. No, we broke it. Well, that didn't go so well. We broke the damn thing. Technology changes so fast these days, it's hard to keep up. Who needs a radio anyway? Well, we do. We need a radio. Mary Jane's feeling safe. Who wouldn't in this coffin-sized shelter? Timmy is on his best behavior. How long will it last? Today's been fine for Dolores thus far. Time to ration supplies. We always stayed away from casinos, gambling dens, and the like. So when a man came to our door and told us he used to be a gambler, we were suspicious. He invited us to play a game. He proposed 2 water bottle bet and a card game of our choice. Okay. Damn it, that man must have cheated. We lost it before we could argue about it. The man left us with our supplies. Everyone has to drink sometimes, including Mary Jane. Is there any water left? Some water would be nice for Timmy. There has to be water left for Dolores again. Okay. It's not the best time or place to make plans for the future, but we can't help thinking about what we could make of this terrible situation. Is our house still standing, or will we have to move to some forsaken hole in Toronto? Is Ted back yet? This isn't going on. We can make it work, even in Toronto. Question is, how do we find a boat to get there? We heard that it's the best way to get to Europe. It's always better when things are calm. Luckily, nothing new happened to Mary Jane today. Timmy is on his best behavior. How long will it last? Life is hard for all of us right now, but Dolores is in a good mood today. We hope it will stay this way. Time to ration supplies. If there is anyone who can rescue us from this hellish situation, it's our government. You can badmouth them all you want, but that probably means you're either a naysayer or a commie. We're good citizens. We've been paying our taxes regularly, so we're sure Uncle Sam is coming to get us. Well, except for that one time, we never mind the government people are coming, and we should keep our ears and eyes open for any sign from them. We can't because this damn radio is broken. Ted's back. If there's anything we need to do, it's to use our radio on a regular basis. That might be transmitted into our area, and it's either that or it's strolling around outside waiting to get picked up. The first option sounds a bit more sane. Ted has safely returned from his voyage to the surface. Unfortunately, the search was futile. We got gained nothing from this situation. Mary Jane didn't cause any trouble today, and no trouble dared to cross her path. No good news. No news is good news. There is nothing new going on with Timmy. Dolores is quite calm given the situation. Ted looks very weak. If he doesn't eat anything today, he might... Yeah. And then you'll get some stuff on day 10. Hear that? No, because no one's talking. Not a word. Now, none of us are. We can't just stare at the walls. We need to do something about this. There's nothing here. Maybe if we try really hard, we can hear the neighbors in their shelter. We should try to get Mary Jane something to drink. Mary Jane is really tired. Timmy prefers apple juice, but right now we should get him some water. Timmy is really tired. There has to be some water left, Dolores should get it. Dolores is really tired. His stomach is rumbling. We're feeling pretty optimistic about today's expedition. The only thing left to do is choose the right person to go outside. Mary Jane keeps fainting. We really need to find her something to drink fast. Here he is in terrible shape. We need to get him some water now. Dolores will not survive without water any longer. Ted is hungry. We know very little about what's going on outside. It would be a good idea to find out more. Maybe discover if anyone else made it to safety. A radio can help us. They say ignorance is bliss. Another day without any clue what's going on might not necessarily kill us. Mary Jane didn't cause any trouble today, and no trouble dared to cross our path. Timmy might not look like it, but he's a strong young boy. He's doing just fine. Everything seems okay with Dolores. Ted is hungry. Ted, I fed you yesterday, so shut up. There isn't anything new bothering Mary Jane. Timmy might not look like it, but he's a strong young boy. He's doing just fine. Life is hard for all of us right now, but Dolores is in a good mood today. We hope it will stay this way. This morning has been calm enough for Ted. He's doing well. Time to ration supplies. No, none of you. And it seems really awfully quiet outside. Maybe it's safe, maybe it's not. We don't know until we go out. There's no way we can send Ted out there in this current state. Dolores is sending Dolores out as a death sentence. Mary Jane should regain her strength before going out. Timmy's condition is too fragile for such. No. We stumbled across the remains of a bandit shantytown. Someone or something tore it down. Instantly, amidst the rumble, we found a cat licking its paws nonchalantly, surrounded by blood and dismembered limbs. As we make our way back to the shelter, the cat followed. We can hear its paws impatiently scratching at our hatch. Should we let it inside? Yes. It's gonna be that cat. When we opened the hatch, the cat jumped inside and marched around the whole shelter, sniffing us all up. Every wall, corner, empty soup can and piece of furniture finally picked quiet places and sat down and let out a deep sigh before taking a 12-hour nap. Its collar had Cherokov on it, a Cherokov attached to it. What it etched into it. What kind of name is that? Everyone has to drink sometimes, including Mary Jane. Is there any water left? I can't feed you. Timmy has been talking about nothing other than water. He should drink some. If there's anything we need, it's water for Dolores. Ted is really thirsty. Time to ration supplies. None of you do. Can't we use a medkit? One of the cupboards in the shelter was a bit shaky, so we pulled that out and gave it a new hook. In the process, we discovered a secret door. Where does it lead? No idea, but let's find out. Yeah. Oh, something's gonna happen. We figured the best way was to make sure nothing and no one jumps us inside the mysterious room. Jumps us inside the mysterious room was to bash the door open and start firing. When the smoke was gone, we were able to assess our operation. The room was empty. We hit nothing but the walls. We barely dodged one ricochet gone bad. Mary Jane kept fainting. We really need to find us something to drink fast. Timmy is in terrible shape. We need to get him water now. One more day. Dolores will not survive any longer without water. Ted looks like he's got one foot in the grave. He needs to get a drink right now. Just one more day, guys. As long as we have food and water, we can stay locked in. But we will have to leave eventually. It will look good to head straight to safety instead of getting ourselves into a trouble. If that's even possible in this situation, our hope is that our brave soldiers will come to rescue us and take us to the well-hidden, well-stocked government shelter. Timmy has comics about those, so you know they must exist. All we need to do is make contact with the military. Now I can feed you. If there is one thing we need, it's to use the radio on a regular basis to catch any emergency broadcasts that might be transmitted to our area. It's either that or strolling around outside waiting to be picked up. The first option sounds a bit more sane. Mary Jane keeps fainting. We really need to find her something to drink fast. Timmy is in terrible shape. We need to give her water now. Dolores will not survive any longer without water. Ted's stomach's rumbling. Ted looks like he's got one foot in the grave. He needs to get a drink right now. Lucky for you, Flo. We really miss the life we had. The space in the sky, the food, more food. More food. We wish we could go back to a time before this damn bombed off. What we may wake up today might be our tomorrow. Let's make it right. There isn't anything new bothering Mary Jane. Timmy might not look like it, but he's a strong young boy. He's doing just fine. Everything seems okay with Dolores. This morning, it's been calm enough for Ted and he's doing well. Time to ration supply. When conducting our daily supply count, we've noticed that the soup can was missing. We're absolutely sure that it was just there yesterday. It can only mean one thing. We have a soup thief among us. Now we just need to figure out who that culprit is. Who ate soup? Mary Jane. When confronted, Mary Jane furiously screamed. It's the last time she tried to do anything nice for us and threw a still full soup can at the wall, spilling the content. When analysing the remains, we found that they can be elegantly wrapped using a piece of string with a nice ribbon on top. It was supposed to be a Thanksgiving gift for us. We felt pretty guilty, so naturally we proceeded to not apologize to Mary Jane at all, and instead started arguing and shouting at each other until exhaustion. Problem solved. It's always better than when things come. Luckily, nothing new happened to Mary Jane today. Nothing to report on Timmy. Today's been fine for Dolores thus far. It is fine. Sherikov is a fresh addition to our little family, so we need to keep an eye on it. And believe it or not, just today we noticed that something else is on his collar. It seems to be a metal plate with an address on it, and it's not far. We should take a quick trip and see what's there. Yeah. We grabbed our new floppy friend for a little stroll through the wastes, only to immediately run into a couple of gentlemen dressed in trench coats, fedoras and shades. They gritted their teeth at the sight of the cat and said they'd been looking for it. Apparently it belongs to their dear old nan who loves it dearly. Before we could utter a word, they took Sherikov and thanked us and left. The cat didn't seem to mind, so maybe it's for the best. Mary Jane didn't cause any trouble today, and no trouble dared to cross our path. We can't leave Timmy without water for too long. Dolores can't remain thirsty. She's really thirsty. No. Water is what Mary Jane needs the most right now. Timmy is in terrible shape. We need to get him water now. Dolores will not survive any longer without water. Ted looks like he's got one foot in the grave. He needs to get a drink now. Ted is Playing a game or two might be a good way to relieve the mood or take our minds off the problems of today and tomorrow. And hey, playing games is good for you, so why not give a try every now and then? We played I Spy and it was pretty fun for the first 3 minutes. After that, everyone got bored of the letter W. To our surprise, we found Sherikov back in our shelter this morning. We're not exactly sure how it came back. It's in our good care. Is it our good care? Is it our good care it appreciates, or our kind hearts, optimism, or just a stockpile of soup cans? Only time will tell. Mary Jane keeps saying we really need to find her something to drink fast. Timmy's in terrible shape. We need to find them water now. Dolores will not survive any longer without water. Teddy looks like he's got one foot in the grave. He needs to drink right now. Uh-oh. You can take that. Is it a pencil game? Mary Jane says she's fine and doesn't need anything. Timmy might not look like it, but he is a strong young boy, doing just fine. Dolores is not quite well, or she can't find anything to complain about. Dolores is doing quite well, or she just can't find anything to complain about today. Did look for herself, as we hope he's going to be back soon. Equipment, the same. Time to ration supplies. Is there anyone who can rescue us from this hellish situation? It's our government. You can badmouth them all you want, blah 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 blah. Is there anything we need to do? If there is anything we need to do, it's to use the radio on a regular basis. That area might be transmitted in that might be transmitted in an area. It's either that or strolling around waiting to be picked up. The first option sounds a little bit more sane. Mary Jane isn't worried, or at least she's not saying it out loud. Sounds good. Like the good scatty is Timmy is making the best out of the situation, even if he seems cheerful. Dolores is doing quite well, or she just can't find anything to complain about. No. Curiosity almost killed the cat. Sherikov found a tiny wire sticking out from the ceiling and pulled it out. Plaster and debris fell onto our table, topped off with a big meowing furball. What is this thing anyway? Nobody remembers it being there before. The cat might get angry if we take it away. The wire might be the best to leave it be, or should we examine that wire? We followed the wire outside and found a half-burned-out truck with two surprised gentlemen inside, surrounded by an array of blinking bulbs. That's some space tech right there. We were listening. Were they listening in on us in our very shelter? A feeble excuse about a roadside picnic to convince us. Even Timmy knows you can't have picnics here, and the car had no wheels. Mary Jane's very thirsty and has to drink. How about getting Timmy something to drink? He's not looking well. He's not looking well. Timmy is resting. There's one thing that there has to be some water left. Dolores should get it. And Dolores is pretty fatigued. The last bit will be fatigued. The agents who were spying on us are now at the door and explain themselves. What should we head now? Yes. They briefly waved some sort of ID cards in front of our faces and told us they were top secret government mission. The wire chat wasn't to spy on us, but rather on the cat. It's suspected of being a Soviet agent, and they're willing to let us into their super top secret government safe house if some of their top missions. They assured us that they would contact us with some more details. Mary Jane is feeling safe. Who wouldn't? in this coffin-sized shelter. No good news is good news. There's nothing to report on Timmy. Life is hard for all of us right now, but Dolores is in a good mood today. We'll hope it's satisfying. We've been busy since we got into the shelter, but there is still much to be done, like trimming that shrubbery in our yard. That definitely is something we want to do when we get out of here. What hell? We can make it work, even in Toronto. Question is, how do we find a boat to get there? We heard that it's the best way to get to Europe. We've already done this. When we opened the bunker this morning to get in some fresh radioactive air, we discovered a small suitcase on our doorstep. There was a note on it, and the neighborhood seemed empty. Should we take a look inside? Yes. $8 back. Damn it, the gift was booby trapped. There was nothing inside besides some junk, and as soon as we opened the suitcase, it exploded. Is anyone hurt? Ted safely returned from his voyage to the surface. +1. What is this? If you're desperate enough or have some peculiar dietary needs, that anyone can be interesting enough to look for supplies. For instance, garbage cans. Garbage collection was supposed to be happening around this time, but the trucks never came. Well, we thought we would save that, but we aren't complaining. One of our pre-blast neighbors threw out an unopened can of soup. The joke's on him. If he's in the shelter right now, he probably is full of regrets with a lawn like that. Who wouldn't be? +1 soup. Why do we throw out water? Who cares? Finders keep. +1 order. Oh, the irony may be a paradox, or maybe neither. A gas mask is lying in a pile of stinky garbage. Everyone has to drink sometimes, including Mary Jane. Is there any water left? Timmy doesn't need much, but he should drink. Timmy got hurt. Water is what Dolores needs. Ted is looking very weak. If he doesn't eat today, it'll be really bad. Ted is pretty fatigued. Ted is really tired. We thought the phone calls were a ring of the past life or an atomic bomb obliterated. Everything in our little town, however, has a phone booth in our street. Survived the bombing somehow. Bombing? It seems ringing right now. We should send someone to answer it. Dolores hasn't done it. No, this thing. Oh, it's a harmonica. When we answered the phone, we could clearly hear a gasp of relief from the caller. They introduced themselves as survivors from a nearby town on Hill Valley. We had started exchanging information. When the calls cut short, something must have gone wrong on their side. We hope they'll get back to us. We're glad to see Dolores come back safely from the wasteland. Mary Jane has raced the ball. Timmy is healed up. Dolores is quite calm given the situation. Ted's stomach is rumbling. It's not the best time or place to make plans for the future, but we can't help thinking that what we can make out of this terrible situation. Is it our house still standing, or will we have to move to some forsaken hole in Toronto? Planning far ahead is usually a good strategy, but for now we should be more interested in our plan for some water rationing. Mary Jane didn't cause any trouble today, blah 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 blah. Mary Jane. Mary Jane went outside. Let's hope she hurries back soon. Equipment, a map, an axe, a gas mask, and a thingamajig. How about getting Timmy something to drink? He's not looking well. Dolores is to drink sometimes. Ted is hungry. All Ted wishes for is a few drops of water. If there is anyone who can rescue us from this hellish situation, it's our government. Blah 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 blah. If there is anything we need to do, it's to close the radio on a regular basis. Any longer. Ted's stomach's rumbling. Ted looks like he's got one foot in the grave. He needs to get a drink right now. No one can drink. But we need to figure out a favourite. I think it's going to be Timmy. Timmy's got his power. His head high, the little cat. We keep dreaming about those little things that we did in the back in the day, when there weren't any bombs flying around. Like, we literally can't do anything. Yep, okay, it's all about how they're starving. After Dolores returned from that last expedition, she was complaining about a minor foot injury. It might have been one of the many ways. It seemed irrelevant at the time. But now both of her feet are swollen. We need to do something about it. We can't. The end. Where'd Timmy go? We didn't do anything in the affected wounds. After all, our ancestors could survive without that fancy medicine. Why should we listen to the doctors? Dolores is looking more sickly though. Looks like Sharikov snuck out to hunt in the wasteland last night. This morning we found a dead glowing rat in our doorstep. Sharikov seemed pleased with his gift for us and quickly expressed its disappointment when we threw it away after our hunt. Nothing good will probably come from touching dead radioactive rodents though. Maybe it should have just left it where we found it. Mary Jane was supposed to be back in a few days. It's been too long. We bet something bad has happened to her. Lack of water drove Timmy insane. He opened the shelter door and ran away without looking back. He's not likely to return. If only we had a few drops of water, we could have avoided that happening. Dolores died of dehydration last night. Too many days without water took the Ted died of dehydration. Surviving the apocalypse is not an easy task. We can tell you that much. We survived for 32 days. Day 1. We're all safe. I just want to read this. I just gotta pause the video. Well, that was hard. I'm not joking. It was actually... There you go. That was 60 seconds with me. If you want me to do another episode, just tell me in the comments. Yeah.